Hello. The CNS has arrived, so everyone please be seated. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Department of Defense and Strategic Studies, I, Bharati Kokil, welcome you all to the General B.C. Joshi Memorial Lecture 2025. We begin with the university song. May I request the august gathering to stand while the song is being played? The university song.
मानुष की धर्म मानतो माणूस की धर्माचा अर्थ जाणतो श्रमनिष्ठा हे पवित्र तीर्थ मानतो हृदयातून समतेचा निर्भय अभिमान ज्ञान बनो कर्मशील कर्म ज्ञानवान पुण्यमयी देया अक्षर वरदान सेवेतच मुक्ती ही मंगल दीक्षा न्यायास्तव जागृती ही सर्व परीक्षा सेवेतच मुक्ती ही मंगल दीक्षा न्यायास्तव जागृती ही सर्व परीक्षा हे विश्वशिखर अमुचे मंत्र हा महान ज्ञान बनो कर्मशील कर्म ज्ञानवान पुण्यमयी देया अक्षर वरदान पुण्यमयी देया अक्षर वरदान ज्ञान बनो कर्मशील कर्म ज्ञानवान ज्ञान बनो कर्मशील कर्म ज्ञानवान
Thank you. Please be seated. I now request Professor Dr. Vijay Khare, Head of the Department of Defense and Strategic Studies, Savitribai Phule Pune University, to welcome the audience.
Namaste, good afternoon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear student. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi, Param Vishishta Seva Medal, Ati Vishishta Seva Medal, Nav Sena Medal, Chief of the Naval Staff, who has kindly consented to deliver General B. C. Joshi Memorial Lecture 2025 on shaping India's future through sea power and self-reliance and Indian naval perspective. I would also like to welcome Lieutenant General Sandeep Jain, Ati Vishishta Seva Medal, Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Pankaj P. Rao, Commandant, Armed Forces Medical College, Major General Parag Nagri, Ms. Urmila Bhatt, Command Recruitment Officer, Western Naval Command, Mumbai, and her team, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Savitribai Phule Pune University, Professor Suresh Gosavi, Pro Vice Chancellor of Savitribai Phule University, Professor Parag Kalkar, former Vice Chancellor of Savitribai Phule Pune University, Professor Nitin Karmalkar, Officiating Registrar, Professor Jyoti Bhakre, Finance and Account Officer, Charushila Gaike, Officiating Director of Board of Examination, Prabhakar Desai, Deans of the Faculty, Heads of the Departments, Members of the Management Council, Members of Senate and Academic Council, Administrative Staff of Savitribai Phule Pune University, Officers of the Army, Navy, Air Force, both serving and retired, Members of the Electronic and Print Media, Technical Support Team, staff from Southern Command and State Department, student, and all those who are present in the audience. The Department of Defense and Strategic Studies has been organizing the General B. C. Joshi Memorial Lectures since 1995 as an annual feature in the memory of late General B. C. Joshi. In 2005, the Chief of Staff Committee resolved that the memorial lecture will be delivered by one of the three service chiefs in rotation on annual basis. The Department of Defense and Strategic Studies was founded in 1963. I'm very happy to inform you that, considering the academic credentials of the department, the Savitribai Phule Pune University awarded the department Best Department Award in the academic year 2018-19. Over the past 6 decades, there has been paradigm shift in the field of defense and strategic studies and national security studies. With great pride, DDSS would like to mention that Southern Headquarters of the Indian Army has gifted Russian-made T-55 tank to the department as a war trophy in the year 2017. I'm very happy to inform you that yesterday we have received a letter from Indian Air Force, and we are going to getting decommissioned MiG-21 as a war trophy for display on campus in the front of DDSS. I would like to request Admiral Sir to offer a war trophy to the department, but that is only left out. So I request him on behalf of Savitribai Phule Pune University. The department has signed a MOU with the Indian Army in the year 1994 and established a chair of excellence in the field of policy studies. Later on, we extended name of the chair is Chhatrapati Shivaji Policy Chair, and I'm very happy that presently General Rajendra Nimborkar is occupied that position. In the year 2020, the department signed a MOU with Indian Air Force and received 2 crore grant and established the first kind of chair of excellence in the name of Marshal of the Air Force Arjun Singh, and presently Air Marshal Bapat is occupied that position. In the year 2021, we received a 2 crore grant to study Indian military history, and we established a chair of excellence to carry out Indian military history. And department also has signed various MOU with the various universities across different international universities, as well as to sign a MOU with the Institute of Defense Scientists and Technologies and National Maritime Foundation. Presently, department is organizing 4 master's programs: MA in Defense and Strategic Studies, MA in Global Peace and Security Studies, MA in Peace and Conflict Studies, and last year we have started master program in Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Vision and Nation Building. Apart from that, there are 11 postgraduate diplomas in the field of strategic studies, in the field of cyber security, disaster management, and so on. So at presently, around a very good number of the students in the field of defense and strategic studies. I'm very happy to inform you that we have signed an agreement with the Indian Army, and every year we are receiving 8 Army officers above the rank of Colonel and Brigadier. They do research in the department. Earlier, we gave them as an MPhil degree, but UGC has discontinued that degree, and now they are doing independent research with the guidance of the department and myself, and we are sending all data to the art track to Indian Army. The lectures delivered so far have been compiled and published in the form of book titled General B.C. Joshi Memorial Lectures on National Security. This book was published by Pentagon Press and edited by myself and then Vice Chancellor of Savitribai Phule Pune University, Professor Nitin Karmakar, who is here. In recognition of General B.C. Joshi's contribution to the higher education and furthering university Armed Forces Interaction program in 1998, the University of Pune, then University of Pune, now Savitribai Phule Pune University, named one of the gates as the General B.C. Joshi Dwar. This is the only university in the country where we have given a separate names to the university. Now, the General B.C. Joshi lecture is organized as a symbol of recognition to the collaborative effort. Today, we have Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi, PVSM, AVSM, NSM, Chief of Naval Staff, as our chief guest for the General B.C. Joshi Memorial Lecture. Let me, on behalf of Department of Defense and Strategic Studies, faculty and students of Savitribai Phule Pune University, once again, I welcome the Chief of the Naval Staff. This is a memorial lecture, and no questions and answers are asked. I now invite the Honorable Vice Chancellor to give his introductory remarks and introduce the speaker. Honorable Vice Chancellor.
Namaskar, good afternoon to all, and warm welcome to the beautiful campus of Savitribai Phule Pune University for today's General B.C. Joshi Memorial Lecture. This series was instituted in the year 1995 in the memory of General B.C. Joshi in recognition of his contribution to the higher education and furthering the university armed force interaction program. Today's function is graced by an august personality, Admiral Dinesh Tripathi, PVSM, AVSM, NM, Chief of Naval Staff. He is going to share his long experience and speak on shaping India's future through sea power and self-reliance and Indian Naval perspective. On behalf of Savitribai Phule Pune University, I warmly welcome you, sir. In the audience, we are happy to have with us other eminent distinguished officers and dignitaries from Army, Navy, and Air Force. My colleagues, Pro Vice Chancellor Professor Parag Karkar, Registrar Professor Dr. Jyoti Bakre, Head of Department Professor Vijay Khare, my colleague, former colleague and friend, former Vice Chancellor Professor Nitin Karmarkar, Finance and Account Officer, Director Board of Examination, Member of Management Council, Academic Council, then the Member of Senate, Deans of Faculties, Director of School, Head of Department, Faculties, distinguished guests, students, and Member of the print and electronic media. Once again, on behalf of Savitribai Phule Pune University, a warm welcome to all for the General BC Memorial Lecture, which is being organized by Department of Defense and Strategic Studies for the year 2025. On this occasion, I would like to share few achievements of our university. Savitribai Phule Pune University has a long legacy, providing quality education for more than 75 years and has always been pioneer in the field of education, training, and research. The university jurisdiction is over the 3 districts, Nasik, Ahmednagar, Ahilanagar, and Pune, and has 7.5 lakh students enrolled in 800 affiliated colleges and 400 institutes around this particular 3 districts. SPPU has fortunate to have a National Institute of Importance on campus, Inter-University Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics, National Center for Radio Astronomy, NCCS, and CDAC on campus. This is the only state university which has got its overseas campus. Okay, since last 4 years, we are running our campus in Doha, Qatar. The university, as far as its ranking is concerned, okay, it has ranked 11th rank in the state level category of National Institute Framework ranking 2025. SPPU has been ranked number 566 amongst Asian universities in QS ranking 2026. SPPU is running unique program with University of Melbourne, Australia, University of Drexel, USA, and have large number of MOUs with various nationally and internationally reputed academic and industrial organizations. The university has been recipient of major research funding from Department of Science and Technology, PERS program, University Grant Commission, University of Potential Excellence, Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan, and also the recipient of large number of students coming from overseas from ICSSR. And then this has resulted in thousands of publications in high impact factor national and international journal. University works in close association with Armed Force through its campus department, where we are running 4 PG program, 2 UG program, 11 diploma program, and PhD program, which is being conducted by Department of Defense and Strategic Studies. The Department of Management Science is also conducting a unique program with QMIT Pune for disabled soldiers. This is a social initiative of university. The department also enrolled the Army officer in 2 departments, okay, for 2-year MBA program in Pumba. Entrepreneurship development program and a special workshop for soldiers retiring from Army are conducted every month. The university believes in holistic development of students, which is evident from the various kind of facilities which is being created for sports, through sports complex, especially athletic track, shooting range, international standard facilities. Also, we are conducting yoga and meditation, okay, through our various departments. Through its academic endeavor, the university continues to contribute meaningfully to the nation building. On behalf of Savitribai Phule Pune University, I once again welcome to all of you for this special lecture, which is arranged in the memory of General B.C. Joshi. And I invite you to engage with the insightful discourse of Indian Navy's contribution to the nation's growth. It's my pleasure to introduce you the distinguished speaker of today's program, Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi, PVSM, AVSM, NM, Chief of Naval Staff. Admiral Dinesh Tripathi assumed command as the 26th Chief of Naval Staff on 30th April 2024. Prior to this appointment, he was the Vice Chief of Naval Staff. He is an alumnus of Sainik School Rewa and the prestigious National Defense Academy. He was commissioned into the Indian Navy on 1st July 1985 and specialized in communication and electronic warfare. His commanded assignment include command of INS Vinash, INS Kirch, and INS Trishul. Whilst in command of INS Kirch, he played a very important role during the humanitarian assistance and disaster relief operation after the tsunami of December 2004, for which he was a recipient of he has received a letter of appreciation from the then president of Sri Lanka. His other seagoing appointment includes executive officer of INS Mumbai, communication officer, and fleet operation officer of Western Fleet. His staff appointments include the Director of Naval Operation, Principal Director of Network-Centric Operation, and Principal Director Naval Plans. After his promotion to the flag rank, he was appointed as the Assistant Chief of Naval Staff for Policy and Plans, Flag Officer commanding Eastern Fleet, Commandant of the prestigious Indian Navy Naval Academy, Director General of Naval Operations, Chief of Personnel and Flag Officer Commanding-in-Chief Western Naval Command. Such diverse range of sea and staff appointment have enabled him to grasp nuance of plans, operation, personnel, and practically every aspect of Indian Navy functioning. The Admiral is a graduate of Defense Service Staff College, Wellington, where he was awarded the Thimaiya Medal for being a best all-round officer. The Admiral attended the Naval Higher Command course and Naval Command College at U.S. Naval War College, Newport, in the year 2007 and 8, where he won a prestigious Robert E. Bettman International Prize. The Admiral is a recipient of Parama Vishishta Seva Medal, Ati Vishishta Seva Medal, and Nausena Medal for his devotion to the duty. He is a keen sportsman and actively involved in tennis, badminton, and cricket. The Admiral is a student of international relations, military history, and the art and science of leadership. He is married to Mrs. Shashi Tripathi, an artist and homemaker. The couple have a son, Divyam, and as he is a practicing lawyer who is married to Tanaya, who works in a public health policy domain. With this brief introduction, may I request Admiral Dinesh Tripathi to deliver his lecture. Thank you, sir.
Check. Thank you, Dr. Professor Gosavi, for that generous introduction. Lieutenant General Sandeep Jain, Chief of Staff of Southern Command. Lieutenant General Pankaj Rao, Commandant of Armed Forces Medical College. Professor Dr. Suresh Gosavi, Vice Chancellor of SPPU. Dr. Paraf Kalkar, Pro Vice Chancellor. Professor Dr. Jyoti Bhakhare, Officiating Registrar. Professor Dr. Vijay Khare, Head Defense and Strategic Studies. Former Vice Chancellors, members of the Management Council, Academic Council, Deans and Senate, Heads of Department. I see large number of flag officers, veterans, faculty members of the university. Most importantly, I see some bright young students here, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I'm indeed grateful to Professor Dr. Gosavi, the Vice Chancellor, for affording me this opportunity to interact with you, albeit one way, because I've been told there is no question answer. But if you have any, we can sort it out in a slugfest during tea. I'm indeed honored to deliver the General B.C. Joshi Memorial Lecture. But before I start, two things, of course. The request which has been made to the Navy, approval in principle given, and now you'll have to follow it up with some paperwork, and then we will do the needful. But I've also got a request that Maharashtra being a frontline, active, and with a history of things maritime, I would request a chair of excellence on maritime studies in the university. And that, if that can be considered, we have adequate experts and expertise in Pune and in Maharashtra who can tenant this chair of excellence. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, with nearly 50 academic departments, I'm told more than 300 recognized research institutes and over 600 affiliated colleges, and a proud legacy built over more than 75 years when this university was instituted as in 1949 as the then Pune University. This university has been central to the academic and intellectual strength that has earned Pune rightfully the title of Oxford of the East. It is no surprise then that the Asia's first tri-services military academy was established here in Khadakwasla in the form of National Defense Academy. In fact, I was reviewing the reviewing officer for the 149th NDA course which passed out yesterday. For me personally, this return to Pune brings an added sense of familiarity and gratitude because of obvious reasons that I've spent 3 years of my youth at NDA and on Sundays in the Pune city. As I went through the invitation, I must say I was genuinely struck by the sheer weight of history that surrounds this occasion. The university named after Savitribai Phule, this hall honoring Chhatrapati Shambhaji Maharaj, and the place where I was received being the name of Iravati Karve, and the lecture dedicated to the memory of General B.C. Joshi. Each of these names embodies a distinct history of its own, and together they form a remarkable continuum of reform, courage, scholarship, and strategic thought. Savitribai Phule dedicated her life to creating opportunities for education and dignity for women and marginalized communities. Chhatrapati Shambhaji Maharaj reminds us that leadership in times of trial rests on courage, sacrifice, and the resolve to uphold one's principles even when such resolve demands the ultimate cost. And Iravati Karve showed that intellectual clarity and compassion can go hand in hand, that a scholar's insight must meet empathy if it is to deepen our understanding of society and its challenges. And General B.C. Joshi, whose life and service we honor today, exemplified professional duty, disciplined service, and strategic vision, offering a model of leadership for everyone. Here I want to share 2 little-known facts about General Joshi with you all. Firstly, in November of 1994, he had addressed 185 vice chancellors from Commonwealth of Nations here in Pune, in which he impressed on the importance of military and academia to work together. It was also during this talk that he said, and I quote, that 21st century will be India's century. Such a visionary. Second, as the Army Commander of Southern Command, he along with the then VC of Pune University and Dr. Gautam Sen, the head of Defense and Strategic Studies, at the university, did the groundwork towards setting off Army Institute of Technology, Pune, which has since graduated thousands of children of defense officers and Jawans who have made a successful profession and life. Now, the legacies of all these four individuals which I named and their greatness compel us to recognize that true leadership lies not only in achievement, but in the responsibility to serve and strengthen the society from which we rise. This brings me to the crux of my talk today, and which has already been told to you, which I'll cover in two parts. Firstly, I will examine the India's maritime potential through the prism of resources, rewards, and risks. And in the second part, I will define so what. So what is the Navy's perspective on consolidation of sea power and self-reliance towards ensuring our national journey towards becoming Viksit Bharat by 2047. Let me begin with the first part. If you look at our geography, you will realize that with high mountains to the north and oceans on three sides, India's connect with the world has been inherently maritime and will continue to be so in the years ahead. Our maritime past is more than 6,000 years old, and just last week, we had a seminar in New Delhi celebrating more than 4,500 years of India's shipbuilding culture. But the landward focus of our kingdoms meant that when the European powers with superior maritime capabilities came in this area, they were able to dominate the seas and eventually subjugate our land. It is a sobering reminder that the seas that once sustained India's ascent later led to its weakening. Lincoln Payne, an author, in his book, The Sea and Civilization, emphasizes that over thousands of years, the volumes of sea trade grew from nothing to more than 2.6 billion tons per year in 1970. Further, enhancements and advancements in the maritime sector in recent decades have ensured that global sea trade has increased by more than 5 times, rising to over 12.3 billion tons by 2023, with ships becoming larger than ever before. Therefore, today, when the sea enables 95% of our trade by volume, India's, our aspirations to be a 5 trillion economy by 2027, the world's third largest economy by 2030, and ultimately becoming a Viksit Bharat by 2047, would be achieved at, from, and by the sea. So if the maritime domain is so important, it is only pragmatic that we view it through the lens of resources, rewards, and risks. Let us begin with our maritime resources, where India is endowed with an exceptionally favorable maritime position. You will also know that we possess an extensive coastline, 11,098 kilometers to be precise, which is equivalent to 3/4 of our land borders, and an exclusive economic zone of 2.1 million square kilometer, which is roughly the size of 2/3 of our landmass. Beyond the EEZ, India holds exclusive deep sea mineral exploration rights over nearly 85,000 square kilometers in the southwestern and central Indian Ocean, estimated to contain minerals valued at nearly $110 billion. Our advantage at sea does not rest on geography alone, but how we leverage the potential of this geography. The 13 coastal states and union territories, home to nearly 800 million people, contribute approximately 60% to India's GDP. India's port infrastructure is among the largest in the world, with 12 major ports and 200 non-major ports. Importantly, each of these is a warm water port operating round the clock throughout the year, an aspect we rarely appreciate. In contrast, several countries, Russia being an example, have limited warm water ports due to seasonal freezing of the seas. With over 3 lakh seafarers, India is among the top 3 global suppliers of trained seafarers, and we aim to become the number 1 with the kind of expertise, experience, and the population which we have got. Within our EEZ lie the marine harvests that sustain millions and make India the second largest fish producing nation with 8% of global output. Resources, however, become meaningful only when they are harnessed with purpose, and that leads us to the rewards before us. If we harness these vast maritime resources with clarity, purpose, and imagination, the rewards before us are nothing short of transformational. Rewards that can elevate our economy, strengthen our strategic capability, and accelerate India's journey to becoming a Viksit Bharat. Let me highlight some opportunities. To start with shipbuilding, the engine of industrial power. Across history, national economic success has often marched in step with shipbuilding strength. In the 19th and 20th centuries, the United Kingdom commanded a dominant share of global shipbuilding. After the Second World War, Japan rose to the top. By the late 20th century, South Korea, which is just 1/13 the size of India, overtook Japan and became a global leader in shipbuilding. And in the 21st century, where we live in, China mirrored these developments and established overwhelming leadership in global ship orders and production. The lesson is unmistakable. A nation that leads in shipbuilding strengthens its economy across multiple sectors. Our Honorable Prime Minister recently underscored this fact when he said, shipbuilding is the mother of all industries because it drives the growth of multiple allied sectors. Accordingly, our national leadership has rightly set an ambitious target to place India among the top 5 global shipbuilders and to become a global leader in ship recycling by 2047. Next comes the expanding blue economy. Gradually and globally, the economy is valued at 1.5 to 2 trillion US dollars and is projected to reach 3 trillion by 2030. India's potential in this space is immense. The Deep Ocean Mission and the Blue Economy White Paper of the Government of India envision a 100 billion ocean economy for India built on sustainable resources, enhanced exploration, and advanced marine technologies. Capturing how central the blue economy is to nation's future, Honorable Prime Minister has observed, and I quote, "To me, the blue chakra or wheel in India's national flag represents the potential of blue revolution or the ocean economy. That is how central the ocean economy is to us," unquote. We are also witnessing an increasing whole-of-nation approach to the maritime sector. Today, initiatives such as Sagarmala, PM Gati Shakti, Maritime India Vision 2030, and the Maritime Amrit Kal Vision 2047 form a powerful ecosystem to strengthen trade, drive innovation, expand employment, and position India to harness the full promise of the maritime century ahead. Yet, as our maritime opportunities expand, so too the risks that threaten them. Our maritime neighborhood faces evolving risks, not only from outright military confrontation, but also from what is increasingly described as fear of influence 2.0, which is a competition driven by infrastructure investments, long-term port leases, maritime logistics hubs, and standards setting in emerging technologies. This contest entails a shift from the traditional sphere of influence, which historically relied on territory, alliances, and overt military presence. Extra-regional powers are now expanding their strategic footprint, sometimes through partnerships, and at other times through economic coercion and leverage, dual-use facilities, and opaque financial arrangements. And for India, located at the heart of the Indian Ocean, these shifts have direct implications for security, prosperity, and strategic autonomy. Apart from risks to influence, the economic risks are also significant. In a world increasingly dependent on just-in-time logistics, even a brief disruption at a maritime choke point can cascade into global shortages, price spikes, and industrial slowdowns. You would remember at the height of Red Sea crisis, shipping costs on key Asia-Europe routes spiked nearly fivefold, a shock whose effects continue to ripple through global supply chains well into 2025. Next, the nature of maritime power itself is undergoing a profound shift. Small actors, state and non-state both, now wield disproportionate influence through asymmetric capabilities like long-range missiles placed on small platforms, drones and autonomous vessels of all kinds, and low-cost disruptive technologies. Artificial intelligence, autonomy, and precision strike systems are rewriting the grammar of maritime warfare. And finally, the most persistent risk lies what we call the gray zone. Gray zone activities include, among others, the use of disguised vessels, cyber intrusions into port operations, information campaigns, and the use of legal tactics or lawfare, as they call it, to challenge established maritime norms. Taken together with the rewards and resources, these risks remind us that the maritime domain is an active arena where advantage must be earned, safeguarded, and constantly reviewed. So what must we do to leverage the opportunity, secure against uncertainty, and convert geography into power of influence? The answer lies in consolidation of India's sea power while pursuing self-reliance to maximize gains whilst minimizing risks. Just as individuals have Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I'm sure most of you know, security at the base, prosperity in the middle, and fulfillment at the top, nations too climb a similar ladder. And sea power is the instrument that touches all three layers simultaneously. It secures the nation by ensuring the seas remain free and safe. It sustains the nation through trade routes, energy flows, and maritime resources. And it elevates the nation by giving it reach, presence, and influence far beyond its shores. Geoffrey Till, another author, one of the most foremost maritime thinkers as well, captures this elegantly in his book, Sea Power, A Guide for the 21st Century. And he writes, sea power is the ability of a state to use the seas to project its power and influence. In our context, sea power is about keeping India secure, connected, and influential. And this is where the prime manifestation of India's sea power comes in, that is Indian Navy, India's Navy, every Indian's Navy, your Navy, my Navy, which performs this task at sea steadily, methodically, and across the full breadth of our maritime areas of interest. Ladies and gentlemen, in the 21st century, Sea power does not begin with ships, but with awareness across the vast maritime spaces about who's doing what, where, and why. But awareness alone is never enough. To shape the environment at sea, a nation must not only know what is happening, it must also be present where it matters. Such presence becomes deterrence when forward deployed forces remain visible and ready, shaping the strategic environment by signaling commitment, capability, and willingness to act. This deterrent effect was visible in Operation Sindoor, where the Indian Navy deployments and posture compelled the adversary to remain in harbor and curtailed any kind of maritime misadventure by Pakistan. At any given moment, Indian warships are deployed off the Gulf of Aden, the North and Central Arabian Sea, the Southern Indian Ocean, and the western approaches to the Malacca Strait. Just to give you an example, last year alone, our ships cumulatively clocked over 11,000 ship days and over 50,000 flying hours and counting. The forward posture also carries a wider strategic meaning as the presence shapes behavior at the international level. Another strategist, because this is School of Strategy and Defense, I'm sure you must have heard about Colin Gray, has observed in his book, The Leverage of Sea Power. And he says sea power provides a large measure of control over the geostrategic terms of engagement. This control is not imposed in moments of conflict. It is accomplished or accumulated through years of steady conduct, dependable partnerships, and credible operational performance. The Navy does this by operating with confidence in the global commons, by reassuring partners, and by shaping an environment where cooperation is the norm and coercion is discouraged. Allied with the Honorable Prime Minister's vision of Mahasagar, which is, as you would know by now, mutual and holistic advancement for security and growth across regions. The engagement builds trust, strengthens interoperability, and enhances our ability to work with like-minded nations across the entire Indo-Pacific and beyond. But partnerships alone cannot define a maritime nation. True strength must also grow from within. A country rises as a maritime power only when its people understand the value of oceans and the role they play in shaping our collective future. Recognizing this, the Navy has made a deliberate effort to carry the maritime domain into the national mind space. Over the years, our outreach has extended far beyond coastal areas and naval institutions into schools, colleges, universities, technology and innovation hubs, and even deep hinterland cities that may never see the ocean but depend on it for everyday survival. Initiatives such as Navika Sagar Parikrama, which you must have heard, that is circumnavigation by Indian Navy women officers on board INS SV Tarini, have helped project sea power symbolically and tangibly. The first voyage was undertaken in 2017-18 by an all-women crew, 6 of them, and this was repeated again in 24-25 by just 2 women officers who traversed the globe on sail, covering tens of thousands of nautical miles, around 24,000 nautical miles to be precise, and crossing multiple oceans. We are actively inducting Agniveers from every district of India, having already reached 673 of 806 districts, with the objective of expanding this engagement to every block and ultimately every village. And building this maritime consciousness naturally leads to our next imperative, is the self-reliance. As we have seen, sea power assures the nation, sustains its prosperity, and amplifies its influence. This sea power has material foundations, and those foundations must be obviously Indian. For the national security, Atmanirbharta, therefore, is not a slogan. It is a strategic necessity and a definite priority amongst the national security apparatus at all levels. Consider the events in the last week itself. Indian Navy's indigenously built ASW shallow water craft INS Mahe was commissioned on 24th November. Apart from the indigenous construction, you would be happy to know that this was the first Indian naval vessel to be designed by a private firm. This is a deliberate step by the Navy to boost the shipbuilding ecosystem at the national level. On 25th November, that is next day, the Navy held the 4th edition of its Innovation and Indigenization flagship event, Swavalamban, bringing together stakeholders from the Navy, domestic defense industry, startups, MSMEs, and policymakers. On the same day, the Department of Defense Production, MOD, held the Samudra Utkarsh seminar, which I mentioned earlier, which celebrated 4.5 millennia of indigenous shipbuilding. On 26 November, that is next day, the Cabinet approved 7,280 crore scheme for manufacturing sintered rare earth permanent magnets, which are essential for propulsion, sensors, and advanced military systems. And building an indigenous supply chain will strengthen the technological foundations of maritime capabilities. And on 27 November, that is next day, the Honorable Prime Minister inaugurated the Skyroot Aerospace's new state-of-the-art launch facility, a major boost to India's private space ecosystem and a significant step towards strengthening our indigenous capabilities in aerospace, dual-use technologies, and advanced manufacturing. So, ladies and gentlemen, these events and developments which show the pace at which we are making strides towards Atmanirbharta are no coincidence. They show consistency in action and clarity of purpose. The Navy has been a long-standing flag bearer of Atmanirbharta. That commitment is evident in our shipbuilding record. We have commissioned almost 140 indigenous ships to date, starting from 1960 when we did our first. The Navy has also been a pioneer in leveraging the IDEX ecosystem for finding indigenous technological solutions at system level. Of the 565 IDEX challenges launched so far, 35% or 198 are Navy-led, reflecting both the scale of our requirements and the credibility of our innovation efforts. However, while we have made significant progress in developing several capabilities, some cutting-edge technologies continue to elude us even today. These include propulsion systems for ships and submarines, aero engines, niche underwater capabilities, high-end weapon systems, hypersonics, and large uncrewed systems. And this is where I will like the young personnel, young people, young students, young researchers who are sitting here to help us to overcome these inadequacies. We are working with the defense industry parallelly, both as a co-developer and co-collaborators. One key aspect of Indian Navy's Atmanirbharta is the impact on the economy and on nation building. Highlighting the broader impact of indigenous warship building, for example, on national capability and employment, our Honorable Raksha Mantri observed recently, and he said, with every ship and submarine built, a new job is created. With every engine, a new skill is created. And with every indigenous system, India's dependency is decreasing. The Project 17 Alpha ships, which he was inaugurating when he said this, have created approximately 1.27 lakh jobs in shipyards like MDL and GRSE. It is proof that every Navy project is linked to security as well as economy and youth employment. So employment, skills, sovereignty, these are the pillars upon which a Viksit Bharat will rise, and the younger generation present here I'm not putting pressure on you, but you are the one who are going to carry this quest for becoming Viksit Bharat ahead in the next 22 years. And there I may say that here, all of you and all those obviously not present of your age, you are going to be the directors, you are the producers, you are the actors, you are the actresses, and many times you are the viewers in our this vision to become the Viksit Bharat by 2047. So don't take it as a pressure, take it as an opportunity that when we reach 2047, it is you on which the country will be resting and the country will be developing. So we await that moment on 2047. Till then, good luck to you all. So to conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm finishing my time. Let me return to the simple truth that has echoed throughout our discussion. The seas have shaped India's past, they define our present, and they will determine our future. If we continue strengthening India's sea power, and when I say sea power, it is all elements of maritime domain, not only the Navy, through capability, preparedness, and self-reliance, we will ensure that India's rise, like the seas we depend upon, is steady, deep, and enduring. And I'm confident that the young minds before me will carry this momentum forward, steering our national voyage toward Viksit Bharat with wisdom, courage, and unwavering commitment. In the end, I would like to once again thank Savitribai Phule Pune University for the opportunity to deliver this address in the memory of General B.C. Joshi, and to all of you for your thoughtful and encouraging presence today. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen. Jai Hind, Shano Varun.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We now proceed with the felicitation. I request the dignitaries on the dais to step ahead for the felicitation. I request the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Savitribai Phule Pune University, Professor Dr. Suresh Gosavi, to felicitate the chief guest, Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi, PVSM, AVSM, NM, Chief of the Naval Staff, with a shawl, memento, a bouquet, and General B.C. Joshi Memorial Lecture on National Security, a book consisting of all lectures delivered so far, which have been compiled together and edited by the former Vice Chancellor of Savitribai Phule Pune University, Professor Dr. Nitin Karmalkar, and the Head of Department, Professor Dr. Vijay Khare. The Chief of the Naval Staff, will also like to present the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Savitribai Phule Pune University, Dr. Suresh Gosavi, with a memento, the Chief of the Naval Staff is presenting the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Savitribai Phule Pune University, Professor Dr. Suresh Gosavi, with a small ship model and CNS crest. That is the CNS crest. Thank you, sirs. Thank you. I now request the Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Savitribai Phule Pune University, Dr. Parag Kalkar, to propose a vote of thanks. This will be followed by the national anthem, group photograph, and tea.
Honorable Chief Guest, Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi, sir, PVSM, AVSM, NM, Chief of the Naval Staff, our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Suresh Gosavi, sir, Officiating Registrar, Dr. Jyoti Bhakre, madam, Head of the Department of Defense and Strategic Studies, Dr. Vijay Khare, sir, faculty members, Lieutenant General Sandeep Jain, sir, Ati Vishishta Seva Medal, Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Pankaj P. Rao, Commandant, Armed Force Medical College, Major General Parag Nagre, Ms. Urmila Bhatt, Commander, Command Recruitment Officer, Western Naval Command, Mumbai, and her team. It is a great privilege for me to propose vote of thanks for this year's General BC Memorial Lecture on highly relevant and timely topic, Shaping India's Future Through Sea Power and Self-Reliance, an Indian Naval Perspective. First and foremost, we extend our deepest gratitude to our chief guest, Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi, sir. Your address was not merely a lecture, but a master class in strategic thinking, flawlessly connecting the threads of sea power, self-reliance, Atmanirbharta, and India's national destiny. Your insights drawn from an illustrious career spanning command appointments on ships like INS Vinash, INS Krish, and your pivotal role in HADR operation during 2004 tsunami provided a profound understanding of the Navy's operation, readiness, and strategic visions. Sir has highlighted Navy's contribution in Vikasit Bharat 2047, ensuring the safe trade alongside almost more than 11,000 kilometers seaside. He has highlighted 95% trade happens through sea mode, shipbuilding done by the naval strategy, strategic security on the ports, blue economy, ocean economy, sea power, maritime security through ships, global supply chain management, technology, AI, use of autonomous equipment, and many other. Thank you, sir, for sharing your invaluable perspective with us today. On behalf of Savitribai Phule Pune University, I thank Dr. Suresh Gosavi, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Officiating Registrar, Jyoti Bhakre, madam, members of the Management Council, Academic Council, Senate, Head of the departments, Deans of various faculties. My appreciation to Professor Dr. Vijay Khare, sir, and his team for organizing successful memorial lecture in the honor of General B.C. Joshi, former Vice Chancellor Dr. Nitin Karmalkar, sir, serving and retired Army and Defense Officer, representative of electronic and print media. Finally, I heartily thank you, all the dignitaries, faculty members, scholars, students, whose enthusiastic participation made this event truly enriching. Your presence underscores the importance of fostering the deep understanding of India's defense and strategic landscape. Thank you all once again. We'll now proceed to the national anthem.
Thank you, sir. The national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Thank you all.